On January 11, 2024, this sugarcane field in a southwestern province of China was set on fire. The video was circulated online at home and abroad. It was jokingly called a political incident by the public. It has aroused heated debates and applause on the internet. So, what's going on? Let's take a look at the sugarcane field first. A media veteran from mainland China disclosed on X on January 11th that a number of torches made of oiled straw had been thrown at the sugarcane field to set it ablaze. The authorities urgently deployed fire engines to extinguish the fire, and a large number of police officers and national security guards were also dispatched to stop the public from taking photos. Ms. Gao mocked the authorities' possible approach to the incident, which could be characterized as either a crime against state security under Chapter 1 of the criminal law, or a crime against public security under Chapter 2, or a combination of both crimes and penalties. At the same time, she reckons that the local government can't close the case with the claim that it was caused by a cigarette butt, as in the case of a local bombing on Russian soil. The sugarcane field was set on fire, and the video posted online shows the laughter of the villagers watching the fire being continuous, while government fire trucks were on the scene spraying water throughout to put out the fire. The news of the sugarcane field being set on fire was also greeted with applause from overseas. Some netizens described it as a fire in the middle of winter. Another said, "The first fire of 2024, Guangxi people did it." One netizen said, "Finally, someone can't stand to watch the ugly drama of stupid people. Salute to the warriors." Now, let's unravel the mystery. This sugarcane plantation was inspected by Communist Party leader Xi Jinping. On December 14, 2023, Xi visited Guangxi province. The city of Libin is known as the sugar capital and is one of the largest sugarcane producers in the country. When Xi was walking by the sugarcane field, he stopped and touched one of the sugarcane with his hand while talking. At the time, the national television station, China Central Television or CCTV, reported the news in this way. On the morning of December 14th, General Secretary Xi Jinping visited the city of Libin. At Huang'an High-Quality Sugarcane Base in the National Modern Agricultural Industrial Park, he walked into the sugarcane plantation to learn more about the technical aspects of its cultivation and farming, and exchange views with the farmers, agricultural machinists, and agricultural technicians. Xi Jinping said, "Guangxi is the main production area of sugarcane in China. We should make this characteristic advantageous industry stronger and bigger so that the majority of farmers can share the fruits of rural reform and development." He also wished the villagers a life as sweet as sugarcane. Following Xi's visit, the sugarcane plantation became a nationally recognized tourist spot. If you pay about $3, you can take a picture of the sugarcane mimicking Xi Jinping. Many people line up every day to take pictures with the sugarcane that has been touched by the CCP leader.
Here or here?
Use your left hand, straighten your arm and touch the sugarcane. One hand is good. Keep your arm straight at a 45-degree angle. Okay, take a picture.
Hey, you have to give me some tips too.
Straighten your arm. The tourists copied Xi Jinping's pose and touched the sugarcane with their left hands, as if shaking hands with Xi Jinping, showing enthusiasm and taking precious photos. Because of the large number of people, the sugarcane has been touched so much that it shines. In this screenshot of a private WeChat session, we see a conversation between the two parties. "Is this bundle of sugarcane still there? What do you want? Yes, come and punch in. If you take longer, you'll have to wait in line. Go and touch it to get some luck. Is there a GPS location for the sugarcane field? It is said to be on the roadside." Later, the local government deployed security guards and put up military tape to maintain order. Many Chinese netizens at home and abroad were surprised to learn that the sugarcane field Xi touched has become a popular tourist attraction. It reminded many of the mango cult during the Cultural Revolution. In August 1968, when the Cultural Revolution was in full swing, the Pakistani foreign minister visited China and brought a basket of mangoes to the CCP leader Mao Zedong. At that time, the workers' propaganda team had clamped down on the Red Guards at Tsinghua University. So Mao gave the mangoes to these workers as a reward for their victory. The workers held a grand mango welcoming ceremony, chanting Mao's quotes, and each worker was excited to touch it. Because mangoes were easily perishable, they found a hospital where they put the mangoes in formalin solution and made specimens. When the mangoes started to rot, the workers peeled the skin and boiled the pulp in a big pot of water, which became holy water, and each person tasted a spoonful of it. The workers then batch-produced wax mangoes, each with a glass cover, and sent them around the country to be admired. Hundreds of thousands of people in each city welcomed the mangoes flown in. As party chief, Xi Jinping is no match for the popularity of Mao Zedong. But in recent years, China's officialdom has also seen a divine-making campaign of Xi. In 2020, Xi made a so-called research trip to the Chaozhou Shantou region of Guangdong province from October 12th to 13th, appearing on the streets of Chaozhou and Shantou in succession and delivering speeches on the street. Later, in the streets of Shantou, the places where Xi Jinping appeared were paved with golden floor tiles, known as golden bricks. A photo of an exhibit taken at a Shenzhen museum showing a microphone used by Xi Jinping during a visit to the Shenzhen Reform and Opening Exhibition Hall has been circulated online in China. There are also photos of 3 other exhibits related to Xi Jinping in official cemeteries and exhibition halls across China, including a ribbon used by Xi Jinping to lay flowers, a magnifying glass used during a visit to a museum in West China, and a Lei Feng statue that he bought. There are also photos showing many of the items Xi touched during his visits to other places. They have been exhibited by local officials or organizations, including a keyboard used during a visit to a military newspaper, a chair he sat on during a cruise to Hangzhou, a towel and towel dish used during a visit to a naval customs office, a strainer used to cook rice cakes in a farmer's house in Zhangjiakou, a dining table used in Qingfeng Baozi restaurant, and so on. Baozi is a bun with fillings inside. Other exhibits include the places where Xi stood during his visits, and even his footprints have been circled as exhibits. The First National Congress of the CCP Memorial Hall has preserved a teacup that Xi Jinping examined. Please note that this is a teacup that he viewed before, not a teacup that he actually used. This is one of the ultimate exhibited objects associated with Xi. You are right, it's a toilet. A company in Chongqing wrapped the toilet in red cloth and displayed it. The sign next to it reads, "This is the toilet that President Xi viewed," and a photo of Xi inspecting a toilet in a resident's home in Inner Mongolia. Many Chinese netizens at home and abroad are puzzled by these practices. Is China really racing to become another North Korea? This is a video of a speech competition in Zhejiang province on January 9th, 2024. It was themed, "Thousands of miles of rivers and mountains, thousands of miles of the sea." The first prize winner in the speech finals was a little girl. The way she looked and spoke at the competition triggered heated discussion among the public.
请党放心，国防有我，请祖国放心，强国有我。
A netizen from mainland China said, "I was just laughing at North Korea, but when I saw this video, I couldn't laugh anymore." Someone else wrote, "It's a good thing it's not my kid." A viewer wrote, "It's not far from Dandong, that is North Korea," which was immediately followed by a comment, "Dandong is only following our suit." The comment section of the speech competition was then shut down. After the comment section was closed, Chinese netizens immediately found a substitute, a video of a young North Korean girl singing the praises of Kim Jong-un.
경례하는 김정은 장군님, 고맙습니다. 정말 고맙습니다.
Under the comment section of this video, Chinese netizens continue to vent their frustration of the North Koreanization of China. Now back to the beginning. Why was this sugarcane field set on fire? I guess it wasn't done by the government, but by the people. Chinese netizens have commented. Destroying something that the emperor touched is treasonous. Now the officials are in trouble. Who's got the guts to burn something that's been touched by the emperor? Last time, the National People's Congress added a crime of insulting martyrs. This time, it must add a crime of insulting sacred objects. On X, someone praised, Guangxi people are good. Since ancient times, this area of Guangxi province has been defiant with unruly people. During the anti-Japan War period, Guangxi's army was regarded by the Japanese as a formidable enemy, more brave and skilled in battle than the National Army. After the National Army withdrew from the mainland, Guangxi people were entrenched in the Great Mountains and fought against an invincible branch of the CCP military for 3 years. The first fire started in Guangxi, burning the sugarcane fields today and the government buildings tomorrow. History has a new story to tell. In China nowadays, with the economy declining and politics turning left, it can be said that there are resentments from all walks of life, and they are centered on the incumbent party leader. The CCP's official media and cyber police are trying to protect the party leader's image, but it's hard to know how to do it, because Chinese people are very smart and officials are very cunning. As soon as Xi Jinping came to power, he imposed a ban on deliberation about the central government in the officialdom. At the end of 2023, the CCP revised its disciplinary regulations for party members, which contained 153 articles. In Article 52, for the first time, a provision was written to deal with party members reading banned books. It stipulates that those who carry or read in private books with serious political problems will be expelled from the party and dismissed from the party in case of serious violations. The so-called serious political problems include vilifying the image of the party and the state, or denigrating or slandering the leaders of the party and the state, and so on. Zhen Zhicheng, a well-known real estate developer, was arrested in 2020 for criticizing Xi Jinping as a clown who insists on being the emperor even when stripped naked. Hu Shuli, founder of Caixin.com, was recently involved in a suspected anti-Xi controversy when she published a series of articles in Caixin Weekly that appeared to challenge Xi's political achievements and ideological line. The articles were later deleted and her Weibo account cleared. Miss Hu has also been implicitly criticizing Xi as a pig-headed person in previous years. Caixin is one of China's leading financial media, and Miss Hu belongs to the circle of the second generation of the CCP. She also has deep international roots. She is one of the journalists with the deepest international background in China's media industry, winning a number of top awards from U.S. news organizations. Perhaps because of this background, the Xi administration hasn't yet figured out how to deal with the challenge posed by her. In the first article titled, Revisiting the Line of Thought of Seeking Truth Through Facts, she talks about how the current reform is dead and asks what the next step is. More than a decade ago, a Chinese constitutional scholar put forward the view that reform is dead and revolution is now in place. So Hu Shuli is actually saying, reform is dead and I'm leaving. The second article, Farewell in 2023, explains why she has to go. Her article mentions the deaths of Li Keqiang and Kissinger, which actually means that reform is dead, so I have to go. The third article is actually talking about what she's going to do after she leaves. Hu Shuli is a person who loves to write. She has written a lot of things. But by posting them on Caixin.com, she is actually explaining the issue. She is mocking what Xi Jinping is like. In this way, she is actually announcing her ambition. That is, I am leaving. Maybe I will go underground, but I won't give up the fight. I use anonymity when I can't fight openly with my pen. I can continue to fight in other ways. A lot of people are bailing out after Xi Jinping rose to power, knowing the hopelessness, but they left quietly in general, grimly bailing out. Their thinking is forget it. They have no hope, but they don't want to mess with him either. So, what Hu Shuli did is the equivalent of slamming the door, then recently kicking the table. When kicking the table wasn't enough, she then smashed the bookshelf and then left. Before the second generation of the Red made their move, there had already been a lot of ways and means of civil opposition or so-called insults to the party leader in China, keeping the CCP cyber police very busy. According to a previously leaked database on the Chinese web, there were at least 2,000 sensitive words directly related to Xi Jinping himself. During Halloween last year, young people in Shanghai played the role of Dabai, the anti-epidemic personnel wearing white jumpsuits, or Winnie the Pooh in endearment for Xi and Emperor Xi. Later, the two who were dressed as Dabai were taken away by the police. And then there were Winnie the Poohs. After many social media outlets at home and abroad referred to Xi Jinping as Winnie the Pooh, China's internet censors made a big move to block all Winnie the Pooh related comments on social media. But on Halloween night, multiple Winnie the Poohs appeared, some with exaggerated expressions. What were they trying to say? Others had blank paper plastered all over their bodies, seemingly in solidarity with China's blank paper movement, which broke out at the end of last year to end Zero COVID. Later on, news came out that the young people concerned were being targeted by the CCP authorities. Overseas, Xi has become the target of criticism and public ridicule by many overseas Chinese. Recently, unnamed sources have told overseas Chinese media that the Beijing government has set up a task force or special group to protect Xi's image. A task force is a unique system under the CCP regime, similar to an interdepartmental working group, which is formed specifically to advance a particular agenda. If this is true, it means that irony and insults have become the order of the day in China and beyond, and the government has now reached a point where it must rely on a strong apparatus to keep it in check. The fact that a special task force and the like have to be used to protect the image of the party leader indicates that there is an unprecedented crisis in the CCP government. How to safeguard the party leader's image is really a highly difficult technical task. As early as 2019, China's internet suddenly sprouted these buzzwords: high-grade black, meaning sarcasm with style, skill, and brilliance, and low-grade red, meaning cultural revolutionary style praises that put people off, and pseudo-loyalty. In that year, the CCP issued a document requiring its members to realize the two protections with correct understanding and correct actions: not to engage in any form of low-grade red or high-grade black, and not to allow anyone to act as a double-faced person, engage in two-faced actions, or engage in pseudo-loyalty to the central government of the party. It is quite rare that these internet buzzwords, low-grade red, high-grade black, and pseudo-loyalty are on the official documents of the CCP Central Committee. However, the document doesn't give clear definitions of what exactly constitutes high-grade black and low-grade red. It is widely believed that some people have been pandering to authority, creating embarrassment for their superiors and leading to heated public discussion later. At the time, a red song in the style of the Cultural Revolution, "Never Forget the Kindness of General Secretary Xi," was suspected to have stepped on the red line and was deleted from the web in China. The lyrics of the song were written by a local official. It was criticized by many netizens as a brainwashing red song because the singer praised Xi Jinping in an over-the-top tone. Party leader Xi Jinping is looking to use the CCP system and ideology to consolidate his power and leadership. He seems to intentionally use some of the same tactics used by Mao Zedong in the past. In recent years, with the establishment of the core status of Xi Jinping, the CCP's propaganda campaign of him has continued to escalate. There has been an avalanche of media campaigns, 1,000 propaganda slogans hanging in the streets and alleys, and numerous propaganda documentaries, books, lectures, and academic studies. However, after decades of the opening of the country's doors, the vast majority of the Chinese people hold a negative attitude towards the Cultural Revolution. Therefore, the majority of the Chinese people are strongly against this kind of propaganda, but they don't dare express it openly. Xi Jinping's government is also aware of this and doesn't want to give people the impression that the Cultural Revolution is back. This has led to a very strange political situation in China. The CCP authorities want people to sing the praises of the party and its leader, but at the same time, they don't want the public to be reminded of the Cultural Revolution. For many officials, this is a technical task that is difficult to maneuver. Like the issue of how to deal with the people burning sugarcane, it must be a super difficult problem for the local officials.